do you think that buskers and street performers and whatever, do you think they should be able to perform freely without any kind of sort of hassle? Do you think it's a good idea, bad idea? Like, what's your opinion on it?
I think music should always be free.
Here on Southend-on-Sea, for obviously the Jam for Freedom guys, like just there's a little like poster for it as well. Just tell me, like, what brought you into Jam for Freedom, and like, you know, why are you doing this, for example, and all of that?
Spread good cheer.
Yeah.
These times we need it. You know, people are stuck indoors. Obviously they're getting out now. We still need a bit of good cheer to spread around.
Yeah. Do you tour with these guys regularly, or is it just like a one-off thing?
This is the first one that I've done.
Oh,
so.
really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Are you like a local resident in Southend, or?
I live in Shoebury.
Oh, right. Where is Shoebury? So my geography's terrible.
It's about 4.5 miles up the road.
Oh, it's not too far away then. Yeah, I live fairly near as well. I just live across the Dartford Crossing, so it's only about half an hour for me. Because I sort of loosely know these guys, and I've seen them perform before, and I thought, wow, what an interesting, concept. What an interesting idea. Just going around, and obviously, like, even according to their like leaflet here, it's like about, you know, promoting mental health and like, you know, and freedom, and it's just like, because I think from what I understand is that these other guys, they've been sort of put out of work because obviously, especially like the music sort of industry and all of that, it's just decimated.
Southend is so big.
Yeah.
Local musicians, and it's just killed it at the moment.
Yeah. Has it affected you, like, in not just financially, but like in other ways as well? Is it like, you know, mentally perhaps, like, you know, like
stuck indoors pays tolls on everybody. So
yeah.
No, this is a chance to get out, mix with a few other musicians. That's what we all want.
You say hello and I take a ride. I wanna see on a mistake. Playing havoc with the tide. Don't get me wrong.
And obviously people here, like random people, are just sort of like sitting down, enjoying it, cheering it and all of that. So
that's what makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, and there's
seeing other people happy, you know.
Because there was a woman who also came up. She went, "Oh, are you guys playing on Saturday?" Because obviously there's clearly a demand for it, ain't there? That like
there
people,
is.
And it obviously, we're in 1st of April today. Happy April Fool's Day, by the way. And people are. It's getting hotter and hotter. We had the hottest day of March ever recorded, I believe, on Tuesday just gone.
We did.
So, and obviously the beaches were packed and everything, even this beach. What do you think the lockdown should now just totally end, or do you think it should continue? Like, what do you think about like all of that?
I think they should carry on with the way that they're going and make sure that everyone's safe before they just say, "Oh, right, okay," because we don't want to have another one, do we? So. I'd rather not stay indoors, but, you know, have restrictions that say, oh no, you can't do this and you can't do that, until they know it's completely safe.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's cool. So you think, but now say if like because we are easing the lockdown, and say if we eased it a lot, and then they said, oh, there's another wave. Now that you know, because we've had a year of lockdown, and we've sort of had a year of COVID or whatever. Do you think now that you know both sides, like you know you've experienced what lockdown is, and do you think it's wise to go back to it, like to a really tight lockdown like we had at the beginning last year, or do you think that like, oh, you know what, I don't think it's doing the balance of the economy and mental health and stuff compared to the lockdown? Do you think that like the cure is worse than the illness, if you know what I mean? Like it's almost like chopping off the head to cure a headache, like for example.
Yeah,
do you think that? Or like, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I kind of understand that. I wouldn't say that I'd like to go into another lockdown. You know, it does kind of seem draconian. But if that's the end means to getting rid of it, and then everybody can just mix like they used to do before. The Spanish flu lasted for, what, 2 years?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I think it's a couple of years. Yeah, it could be that. Yeah. So just to, how can you on social media or anything like that? Can anyone like find you? If you got like a musicians, you got like a channel on YouTube, like for your music or anything
I
like
don't
that?
personally have my own channel on YouTube. I'm not one that puts it out, if you know what I mean. But I do have a chat group.
All right, yeah, go on.
For all the local musicians, and we all
go
get
on.
together.
If you want to plug it, you can. Yeah, if you, what's it called?
It's just basically a chat group. So
yeah, but anything else you want to like promote, like promote yourself or anything like that?
come down to Southend when this is all over. The music scene is absolutely incredible.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Or am I paranoid? Am I just stoned? Fire out of the guns and walls. And it's very scary. Like a true nature's job. We're born to be wild. You climb so high. Never wanna die. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. Come on, Southend-on-Sea, we love you. Woo! Hey, 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 hey.
You just introduce yourself. Just say like what's your why you're here, why you supporting band Jam for Freedom and all of that.
Yeah, well, firstly, my name's Rob Monsieur, bass player with Petrogramme of Evil, indie rock, punk blues type band. I volunteer for a mental health charity anyway, Motivated Minds, based over at Basildon. I like playing bass, and I saw the message come on Facebook.
And is that the reason why you're doing it? Because you saw Jam for Freedom, you're supporting them for the mental health reason and all of that.
Yeah, but I just like playing anyway. So
yeah,
I'm not saying I'll go anywhere for anything, but yeah.
No, you're really great. You're really great.
I didn't know anything about it till 9:30 last night. So
yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people are saying that, and I'm liking that. I'm liking the whole sort of concept that like random musicians can be sort of part of the band, and like just jam whenever they want. I mean, you were really good. I mean, you just picked up any song they played, you just sort of jammed right in it.
Southend-on-Sea, what's going on? Come on. Come on, guys. Watching people get ready. It's not very pretty, I tell you. Walking through town is quite scary. It's not very sensible either. A friend of a friend who got beaten. In the wrong way, that policeman would never have happened to see them. I know that you're not to be la 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 la. Come on,
I generally thought you were like a full-on sort of like member, or I know they're not like an official kind of band where there's a specific amount of people only in the band, like 5 people max, say something like that. Yeah, but yeah, it was just really cool. But like, so what do you think about like what's going on? I mean, like, because obviously in the past, I don't really see Jam for Freedom sometimes have some issues with the local authorities and like the police. I mean, I don't know if you saw already, there were like 4 what was known as compliance ambassadors, probably the most dramatised title I've ever heard for local sort of, how do I say it, sort of like civil enforcement officers, but they're just giving a more fancier name.
love you. Got to control. So I ready for a flashing lights. You know that, baby, I'm your biggest fan.
Compliance ambassadors. Oh, suppose it makes it more appealing to people to a compliance ambassador, that sounds very fancy, I could be one of those sort of thing and get a decent wage for it. But what do you think about what's going on there? Like, do you think it's like right that or wrong that local authorities occasionally come up and challenge buskers and say, oh, you can't play here because of COVID? Do you think all of this is a bit over the top? Like, what's your opinion on it?
I think in this particular one, it's outdoor anyway. So there's no, social distancing isn't exactly a problem at the moment, is it? But, we've been under this for a year now. I mean, I make a few bob from playing bass and doing lighting and sound engineering, but I can't work at the moment at all. So
because of this lockdown?
Because of the whole lockdown.
So do you think it needs to come to an end, or do you think that, because what a lot of people are speculating is that they may ease the lockdown come summer, but then say like another sort of flu or any other kind of illness or another COVID strain, whatever you want to call it, they'll put us back into lockdown again come winter or autumn.
Yeah, I fully expect that.
Do you think so?
I fully expect that.
Do you think that's the right course of action?
Yes, I do, because the thing is, if any relaxation, people go over the top, don't they? If people stuck to the guidelines from day one, we wouldn't be in the position we're in now. But because you get raves and legal gatherings and people, think, I'll be all right, mate.
Yeah.
Is it 150,000 now? People died because of it. Well, they weren't all right, were they? And all their friends and families and employers. Don't forget. Would you say that people would say, well, hang on a minute, like you're out here, like sort of, the illegal raves and whatever. People might say, oh, like well, you're out, like being part of this sort of thing. Like, what would you say to that? What would you? Well, as I say, social distancing isn't exactly a problem at the moment, is it? I mean, we're outdoors, people at raves. Let's say don't stick to a healthy diet during the day and evening, do they? So the more intoxicated people come, the less they stick to rules in general. That's a fact of life, not necessarily under COVID, is it?
Cool. And we're just for people to do you have any kind of social media or any kind of thing where people might be able to find you and support your sort of music and whatever? Do you have like a YouTube channel or anything like that? How can people find out about you? How can people go, oh, I want to go and see that guy jam, do his bass and whatever?
Well, the band's called Petrogramme of Evil. We've got a website, petroviva.com.
Petrogramme of Evil?
Petra
of Evil.
It's Latin for live stone, living rock, live rock, living stone, So yeah, Petrogramme of Evil.
And you play around Southend, do you?
Southend, Chelmsford, Basildon, yeah.
There you go, brilliant. The song's called Twilight.
Could be twilight or the early morning light. I've seen your loves flowing down. I never tire of having you around. I was just biding my own time, not even looking around. Found with you my best light, my best light.
Yeah, I just think you playing for Jam for Freedom. Why are you supporting Jam for Freedom and all of that? Just tell us briefly. You were playing great songs, by the way. That was all your original stuff as well, wasn't it?
I might fly. Been down that road so many times. Like a journey shared is a journey hard. So many miles of memories stored inside my mind. The journey stays the same. The journey stays the same. Recall the first time you came with me, and the first feeling of being free. 'cause the birds flying across this line. The first time that year spring had sung. How it's sung.
But why are you guys here to support it?
We're both supporting the whole really. We're both, I think a lot of us have been experiencing the stress of lockdown and of not seeing other people, and it's very good to get out there and support something like mental health, really.
Yeah, it was really great, sort of like jam. Do you think that like because in the past, the Jam for Freedom guys, they sometimes get a bit of hassle from the local authorities, so the local police and whatever. Like, I'm sure there were some guys over there that were called compliance officers. That sort of, but they're basically just civil enforcement officers.
Backstage show, never go to the times. You show my rock star
Do you think that buskers and street performers and whatever, do you think they should be able to perform freely without any kind of sort of hassle? Do you think it's a good idea, bad idea? Like, what's your opinion on it?
I think music should always be free and available to everyone, really, at all times. But obviously, we've had to be a bit careful because of what's going on. But now that things are open up a bit, we should get the music back out there, get the music going again.
Absolutely, I think so too. All right, then, thank you. That's that.
I ride the wild wind, I ride the wild wind, and it makes me so cold. Our faces are outside, our faces are outside, feel the world come flooding back again.
Oh, the compliance officers are gone. The Jam for Freedom band scared away the authoritarian compliance ambassadors. That's their title, the compliance ambassadors. Give them a fancy title and they'll enforce tyranny. Guys, what do you think about this band? It's called they're called Jam for Freedom. Basically, they're touring, like they're sort of defying the lockdown and all of that, but they're just sort of like they're just trying to make some money, really, because they're all out of work because of the lockdown. Like, what do you think about this? Like, what do you think about like?
I like what they stand for.
Yeah.
And how brave they are to do it.
Yeah, I know. Did you see the compliance ambassadors? I've never heard such a ridiculous fancy title in my life. Compliance ambassadors, yeah.
Everyone's social distancing.
Yeah.
As such, and I don't see why not.
Did they? I thought I saw one come up to you lot, and
I'm friends with one.
Oh, I thought they were trying to tell you, like, oh, you're not allowed to have fun or whatever. Yeah, like that. What do you think about, like, just do you think there should be more of this? Do you think like a lockdown should be a little bit more eased or just totally over?
Things like this, yes.
Yeah.
Because everyone else, we have nothing to do. It makes our day, kind of thing.
Yeah, it is.
So.
I mean, it's funny because a lot of people have been coming up, and I think they assume that I'm with them. I'm not really, not officially anyway.
Yeah.
And they just assuming that, oh, are you playing on Saturday? Are you playing here? Like they're sort of desperate to like have some fun for the weekend or whatever.
Something
But
to look forward to.
so there seems to be clearly a market for it. People like a demand for it. That people want to like.
Yeah, especially on like warm days and stuff. It's a bit of entertainment instead of just walking.
Did you say edutainment?
Entertainment.
Because that's what I'm going to steal that word now. Edutainment now, yeah. Because educating people about what's going on.
Let's have it. Let's have it. Come on, Southend-on-Sea. I got my first real fixed string, brought it up the 5 and dime, played it till my fingers bled. It was the summer of '69. Me and some guys from school had a band and we tried real hard. Jimmy quit and Jody got married. I should have known we'd never get far. Oh, when I look back now, it's always seemed to last forever. And if I had the choice, yeah, I'd always wanna be there. Those were the best days of my life. Southend-on-Sea, come on. Ain't no you for driving, and that's when I met you. Hey, standing on your mama's porch, you told me that you went forever. Oh, when you held my hand, honey, there's no ever. Those were the best days of my life. Oh yeah, back in the summer of '69. Oh yeah.
It was Jam for Freedom, like that. You want to like just introduce yourself and just say what's going on, what's the thing about? Yeah, look at that. He's like Superman.
Come on! Yeah, this is our Superman costume. When we reveal this, magic happens. So, Jam for Freedom is a collective of musicians. We travel around the UK, bringing people live music to help with the mental health crisis in the country. We've played 21 gigs so far, and we're going to be doing 50 gigs until the 10th of June.
Why do you do it? What made you start doing it?
So we started doing gigs outside, jams outside last year, in the summer, when the initial lockdowns happened. It then naturally transformed into Jam for Freedom in December as a response to the national lockdowns and the mental health crisis in the country that we believe is here and is going to continue. So we just said, you know what, we're getting outside, we're going to play music, we're going to help people, we're going to have fun.
Peace and love. We do play music, we don't just talk rubbish. We need to see you guys jumping, yeah? Get warm with this song. This is a mad song. Get you guys over here. Go on. We get you guys over here, Southend-on-Sea.
So that's Jam for Freedom in a nutshell.
Brilliant. And do you think? Oh, the sign's fallen down. But do you think that the lockdown needs to ever needs to come back? Like once if the authorities eventually lift the lockdown, do you think? Oh, it's fine. Do you think the lockdown should come back again? Do you think the lockdown should come back again if it does? You think there should be? This has all been an experiment in a way, like a sort of big national experiment.
All I can say is the mental health aspects of things have been a total disaster. And mental health is the foundation of all health. So if you care about mental health, poor mental health leads to obesity, which is the #1 cause of coronavirus-related deaths. It can also lead to old people dying young, dying early because they're stressed, they don't want to live anymore psychologically. It's been a total failure in terms of mental health. And we're here to provide a solution to it.
And you're pretty much appealing to any sort of musician to play any instrument to come along and join you.
Play any skill level, come for a jam and hang out with us.
Sing song and all of that, because I've seen a couple of people today. There was 2 guys I've never seen before, and they've literally just contacted you and just said, oh, we live in a local area in Southend here and we want to play and just jam with you guys and all of that.
Anyone's welcome, absolutely anyone's welcome to come join us at Jam for Freedom. We would love to play with you. You can come play some covers, play some originals. Really appreciate the support. You can plug in and play to everything we've got and have a merry old time. I can promise you that.
Brilliant, thank you for that, mate. And fine. You've got what you want. You're on Instagram, Twitter. What you want? What's your?
We are on Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, Facebook. Join our Telegram group for quick updates and tag us in any of the videos. And you can support us, buy tickets. We're on our tour now. People buy tickets to come to our mental health group, live music to alleviate stress, anxiety, depression.
Cool. And more tours to come this summer, I imagine, and all of that.
Big things this summer.
Big things.
Everyone, get your ticket to jamforfreedom.com and we'll see you at a city near you. Woo!
Brilliant. Thank you, mate. Cheers for that. Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
I'm gonna win them all. 7 Nation Army couldn't hold me back. We're gonna rip it all. Right before track. Let's make up. And I say to myself at night because I can't forget. Southend-on-Sea, we love you. Southend-on-Sea is where we gonna get.